When it comes to human rights, I will speak for Ghana. I can't speak for the whole of Africa, but generally, when you look at human rights in Africa, when you look at the situation in Togo, you look at the situation in countries like Cameroon, we still have a long way to go with human rights. And Ghana has been tagged as the beacon of democracy since 1992. We've had successive elections since that time with no glitches, but in recent times, democracy is being threatened. I don't know if you heard of the by-election earlier this year in Ayawaso, West Wogon. It was just a by-election, but there was a lot of violence during that election, and now we are wondering if this is just a by-election with so much violence, then what is going to happen in the main election in 2020. Apart from that, there has been a clampdown on press freedom in our country. Earlier this year, the journalist Anas released a video on corruption in our football administration, and the FA had to be dissolved. And what he did really angered a lot of people, very powerful people. So there was an MP, a member of parliament, who released the privacy of one of the actors in that movie, one of the key members of the team, and asked people to beat him up wherever they see him. And a few months later, the guy turned up dead. That is a clear violation of press freedom. Until date, as I speak to you, no suspect has been apprehended. So our status as a beacon of democracy is being threatened by these very acts. Yes. I think civil society has to put pressure on the African Commission to make member states perform their various human rights obligations. Then I'll say that they can be independent, because it's a body within the African Union, so therefore they are independent. But all of their work has seen more of talk and rhetoric rather than action. So it's up to CSOs to put pressure on the African Commission to really do its work and make member states accountable by presenting reports, state reports on their various human rights mechanisms on the African Charter and the Maputo Protocol. When you are really doing your work, when you are accountable, it assures your independence. The main protectors of our human rights are our state parties. Our constitutions enshrine that the state protects the rights of the people. So where the state is not protecting the rights of the people, then CSOs come in to, how do I put it? CSOs then come in to lobby on our behalf, on the behalf of citizens, to make sure that these institutions created out of our constitutions ensure the rights of the people. For example, in Ghana, our constitution allows for independence of all arms of government. But there are certain situations where you see that certain arms of government don't seem to be independent and has so much political interference, and the CSOs come in to remind you that this is what the Constitution says, there should be independence of each arm. So that's what CSOs do. So apart from CSOs, as I said earlier on, state parties, the core mandate of protecting human rights are with state parties, and the CSOs only come in to help where state parties are lagging behind. Apart from CSOs, I feel organizations like the United Nations, whose mandate is to ensure peace and security around the world, must push for the protection of human rights. I know we have the United Nations Human Rights Council, and they have to do a lot more work and put pressure, if they can provide punitive measures to these states that are violating people's rights, maybe trade embargoes, economic embargoes, to push them to protect the rights of citizens. Because where you have is all talk, you complain, you criticize without punitive measures, nothing is going to be done in the long run. So where there are punitive measures for these states, maybe, for example, Sudan, the violations to Sudan was taken out of the African Union. Those type of punitive measures will go a long way to ensure that states protect the human rights of their people.